So I think Chris runs the best events in the entire industry. Round of applause. It's an honor. It's a total honor to speak. And not only does Chris run great events, he wears a dress better than any man I've ever seen. Great job. Anyone here like wrestling? We had a WWE themed gym business mastermind event in Orlando, Florida. And we had Kurt Angle there live. And we had a WWE themed costume party. So this is Chris dressed up with my wife, Vanessa, as Rowdy Rhonda? Has anyone heard the story of how I actually got selected to speak at Perform Better? Oh, perfect. Okay. I need this chair for this. Can I borrow this?
Yeah.
Done. Never. I don't need it. It had nothing to do with my speaking ability. It had everything to do with my ability to absorb extreme amounts of pain. And what happened was I visited Chris in Chicago, and I wanted to speak on the Perform Better tour. I was an attendee for a decade. And then I was like, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to try and speak. And when you want to speak at Perform Better, you got to talk to the Godfather, Chris. And so I sat down with Chris and I asked him, I was like, I think I want to do this. I think I can do this. And he was nice, like he always is. He's like, yeah, well, I'll let you know. And I was sitting at the bar. I was like, I think I screwed that whole thing up. And I'm sitting at the bar and I see the whole Perform Better crew walking by and they're all going to dinner. And Chris was like, hey, Vince, you want to come to dinner? And I'm like, sure. And so I came, and it happened to be at a restaurant that has these very large wooden tables and these German waitresses that would walk to the tables with these very large wooden paddles. And what they do is they come around to your table and they select a member of the table to put their hands down on the table like this, while she takes a running start with the paddle and smacks you in the ass as hard as she can. And so I'm the new guy in the room, and Chris, they go, who's it going to be? And Chris is like, Vince, get up there. And so I'm like, got my hands on the table, and Chris has got deadlocked on my eyes. He's looking at me right in the eyes. And he's, if you flinch, you'll never speak on this tour, ever. And here I am. 6 years later. Okay, thank you, Chris. I want to tell you about the Beatles. So the Beatles have this thing that when they hit a lot of success, they bought a lot of these mansions. And they were sitting in one of their mansions, and they're like, man, this house would be awesome if it had a swimming pool. They didn't have a swimming pool. And it was, I think it was Paul McCartney and Lennon. And they're going back and forth. They're like, you know what? Let's go inside, because they had a recording studio in the house. Let's go inside and write a song. And they wrote a song, and from the money that they got from that song, they bought the swimming pool. So it became, instead of writing a song, it became, we're writing a swimming pool. My wife comes to me one day, and she says, Vince, honey, we need a new deck. The deck's rotted out. It's going to cost 25 grand to get the new deck. And I'm just like, okay. So I do what every entrepreneur does. I was like, all right, I'm going to have a seminar, and I'm going to charge $1,000 a person, and I'm going to get 25 people to do it. And I collected all the money, and I said, here you go, honey. Here's your deck. Third story. I had this client named Marcus, and Marcus wanted desperately to open a second location. And I have some rules that need to be in place before you open a second location. And one of those rules was a 3-month cash cushion. So 3 months of cash in the bank account. And he had 20. And I was like, sorry, man, not yet. You're not ready yet. And so he goes out and he sells this package for, get this, $50,000 to one person for this massively long, I don't know if it was like a year, a lifetime or something like that. I think it was like a lifetime or something like that. My point in telling you all of this is, as business owners, we have the power to make money. We have the ability to make money whenever we want. as an employee, you have that ability too. You can add more value to your staff. You can add more value to your business. Okay? But there's only a few things that you need to do to be able to do those things, to be able to write the check for the deck, to be able to write the song, to be able to get that $50,000. There's only a few things you need to know. And a lot of times what I see what gets in the way of that is worry. I think a lot of gym owners and fitness professionals in general, they worry a lot. And when you're worried, it's hard to think. It's really hard to think creatively, to be able to come up with those ideas, to be able to do it. But when you have the skill sets and you know the skills, it gives you confidence. It gives you power to be able to make the worry go down. And what I look at those skills, the skills I'm going to teach you today, are like this pressure release valve for worry. When you have the skills, you can activate the money to be able to release the pressure. And when you release the pressure, the creativity comes, the confidence comes. The pressure is what's getting in the way. And so what I want to teach you today is the skill sets. Is the skill sets to push the pressure valve on the worry so it goes down. And here's the thing. Not only do we want to think creatively, but what do we want all this money for? Why do we want money? We want money because we want to feel a certain way. That's why we want money. We don't want the money. We want the feeling that the money gives us. That's what we want. And the skill sets I'm going to teach you today are going to help you get that. Okay? A little later, I'm going to tell you about the life of a male bee. I'm going to lose someone here. The life of a male bee starts like this. He's born, he finds a mate, he mates with the mate, and then he dies. That's the life. There's always a crescendo of laughter. There's 10% of you got it right away. Those are the smart. Who got it right away? Those are the smart cookies in here. And then if you're still laughing right now, okay, you're on the tail. No, I'm kidding. I would be the one laughing at the end. I'm always hesitant to do this one because some lady got offended last time I did it. So I apologize in advance. Okay, what's the reality of a gym owner? That's the reality of a life of a male bee. What's the reality of a gym owner? Here it is. Ready? Love, hate. I love this place. I fucking hate this place. I love this place. I hate this place. That's what it's like. And here's the thing. This is a really scary statistic. I saw this. IRSA came out with a statistic. 81% of gyms fail in the first year. I still don't believe it. I went down the rabbit hole. It's like, is this true? I went everywhere I possibly could to say, is this true? And it was. And the reality is, like, this is not easy. This is hard. Like, being a gym owner is harder than being a lot of other businesses. And the reality is a lot of people don't make it. And there's a larger percentage of people that don't make it, but stay struggling their entire careers. And I don't think it needs to be that way. This is a guy I drove up on my way here. This is a guy, Christoph, in my mastermind group. He is 23 years old. You can tell by the difference of the hairlines. I was looking at this picture. I was like, he's 23, and yes, I'm 46 for sure. But he joined my group doing $8,000 a month. He's doing $45,000 a month in revenue in 800 square feet. Okay? So some people are winning. A lot of people are winning. There's people in this room that I know that are winning. When you bring 85 people to a mastermind like Andrew Simpson did, here, there's like all these people in the blue, that's all one guy. So a lot of people are winning. I want to give you some tools to help you win today. Is that good? Okay. Here's the crazy ride that we're going to go down in the next, I don't know. Anyone mind if I go 2 minutes over? Anyone mind? How about 3? 4? Okay, no, I'm just kidding. So here's the agenda. I'm going to tell you my story, because my story is very relative to you. Because wherever you are right now, I've been where you are. If you're an intern, I've been where you are. If you're I've been everywhere you are. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to brainwash you into loving small group personal training. I'm going to give you some propaganda on that. The third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the money map. The map to make money. I'm going to give you the 5 things that you need to do. This is not going to ever change. Nothing I teach you is going to go out of style. Everything I teach you today will be true 50 years from now in running a business. So I'm going to give you the foundational principles today. Okay? I'm not going to give you tactics stuff. And the last thing is I'm going to give you free stuff. Okay, so that is me. Raise your hand if you think there's 4 chins. 5. Anyone? 5, 6? 6 in the back? Okay. So this is me. I was a 300-pound offensive lineman at Temple University. I was way better in the weight room than I was on the football field. I was a very backup, second string guy. I managed to play in 9 games at Temple University. And I realized that I loved working out and I wanted to be a trainer. And so I got certified as a trainer for the ISSA. Any ISSA guys in here? The ISSA. And moved to San Diego like every person that lives in Philly does, to get the hell out of there and go to San Diego, right? And then I got a job with this guy. Anyone know Todd Durkin? Anyone see Todd? Yeah. And so I got a job as an intern at Todd Durkin's gym. I was a 24-year-old kid that knew nothing, and Todd took a chance on me. And this is me. Actually, this picture is pretty sick. If you think of it, there's Drew Brees in the middle, LaDainian Tomlinson. There's $2 billion in that picture right there. But that's what I did. So for 5 years, I was a trainer. I was an intern and I was a trainer. I learned everything I needed to learn about training. I was fully focused on becoming the best trainer I could possibly be. I wasn't thinking about business at the time. I was just thinking about coaching. I was just thinking about training. Okay. But I realized it was time for me to move on. And I opened my first gym in 2008. That's Gabriel Fitness. It still exists today, 18 years later, 17 years later. I started to do okay, and I started to write about it. So I hired good trainers. So I wrote a book on hiring trainers. I got decent at marketing, and I wrote a book on marketing. I got okay at sales, and I started to I basically took all my books that you can get today. All my books are about the stuff I did at my gym and the clients that I've helped. And this is pretty much what I do most of the day. Most of the day, I help gym owners. Andrew's in the mastermind. I see a couple other people here, but I pretty much help gym owners make more money. That's pretty much my profession at this point right now. So things are going okay, but they not always were. And I want to bring you back to, remember when this is, I try to block it out. But this is my best friend in the world, Mike Waldron. He's a CFO for gyms. That's what he does. But he was my CFO, and he came to me and said, "Hey, bro, you got no money." I was like, "What do you mean?" You got no money in your checking account. And then he's, "Oh yeah, and by the way, you have a $40,000 tax bill that we need to pay." So I had no money and a $40,000 tax bill, and I was ready to quit. Because I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I was having fun training people. It was like, great. And now I have all this stress and all this pressure, and I was like, I'm done. I went and talked to my dad. My dad was a financial advisor. And he said, "Hey, bro, he didn't say bro, but he said, "Hey, son, you have proven you're a good coach and a good trainer. You did it for 5 years." And my dad was like very proud of me that I trained professional athletes. He was like, "Oh, that's really cool. But you just have shown me that you're just not a good businessman. And the reality is you just need to learn. These are all skill sets that you can learn to become better at business. And you don't just quit at the first sign of struggle. You go and learn what you need to learn. And then if you can't hack it after that, I'll give you a job as a peon intern in the finance world." Right? And so that's what I did. That started my education in business. I shifted. I took all the training books and I had a big bonfire and I threw all the training books in the bonfire. No, I didn't do that. But I shifted. It shifted my education. And I found this man, Dan Kennedy. And Dan Kennedy is, if you don't know Dan, you should. If you know about business, you know about marketing, you should know Dan. But Dan changed my life when I started learning about money, when I started learning about salesmanships, when I started learning about price, when I started learning about all the things you need to know to make a lot of money. This man was the one that taught all this to me. So I shifted my entire education, and I am 100% self-taught. Okay. If you ever want to hire me as a business coach, don't ask for any certifications. I ain't got none. I got nothing. I only got the books I've read, the people I've hired to teach me what they know. That's all I got. All right. And it seems to work for 150 people. But so here was my epiphany. My epiphany was, as long as I possess skills in sales and marketing, I could say goodbye to money worries, even if shit hits the fan again. And it did for me, and it did for a lot of you. And in 2020, I lost 50% of both my companies. In 2020, so not that long ago. So my gym got chopped in half. And I had a mastermind group that was just starting to get traction. 2020 for me was like a breakout year. It was like really good. And we finally got up to 50 members, and I'm super excited. Boom, bottom came out. Okay. And so I found myself in a tough spot, and I had to go back on all the things I learned. I had to go back on the skills that I learned for marketing, the skills I learned for sales, all these things I'm going to teach you today. I had to lean on that stuff, and I built it all back up and then some. So I currently own 4 companies. Last year we did 4.4 million in combined 2. We'll do 4.6 this year combined in all the companies. But it was only the education that I'm going to teach you today that I leaned on. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm going to give you everything you need today. This was 2 decades of growth and learning. So you guys are going to need to do some work, but I'm going to give you some of the foundational principles. Okay. So let's talk small group, because I know that's what you came to learn. That was the advertising on this presentation. But I learned small group. I was really lucky that I learned small group from Tom Plummer and also learned it from the Cosgroves. Right? So I am not a creator of this by any means, but I really do believe that these people, both of these people, I owe a debt of gratitude to, and a lot of us in this room do as well. They brought this model to us. So I'm just fortunate that for 18 years, I've been doing this at my own gym. And most of the things I teach to my gyms is this specific model as well. And I like this model because it just makes a lot of sense. If you want to make a lot of money, and Tom was talking about this more from less mentality. He always talked about it, more from less. If you want to make more money with less overhead, small group. If you want to make more money with less trainers, small group. If you want to make more money with less clients, small group. It just fit. It just seemed right. And I know a lot of people do like large group, and it's fine. I think there's a lot of people doing well with large group. And I'm not here to tell you not to do large group, but I can't get over the attrition. I can't get over that if I have 500 members in large group and I have a 5% attrition rate, I'm going to lose 25 clients a month, and I got to replace 25 clients just to stay the same. And then the second thing with large group is you're competing with everybody. Like everybody. And here's the thing, Pilates, check it out. Like Pilates groups, all that stuff is competition for us. But all of the boutique that are powered by massive amounts of money, they're large group. So it's hard to compete in this space. Okay, one-on-one, I have a love affair with one-on-one, but at the end of the day, it's just really hard to scale one-on-one. The biggest thing that one-on-one needs is a lot of coaches and a lot of trainers. And Andrew apparently is the only person here that has been able to crack that code. But it's hard to find good people. It's really hard to find good trainers. And then one-on-one, if you're going to grow the business, you just need more and more trainers and just more and more people to manage. It's hard. Okay, and this one is the middle. Sorry, man. But this is the middle. This gets me all fired up and like really angry. And I call it no man's land. This is medium group. I'm going to train 12 people in a group, and we're going to call it small group, and then we're going to price it like large group, and we're not going to make any money doing it. It just pisses me off, and no one should be doing anything like this. Now, there's always one person that comes up to me after we were killing it with large group, and I was like, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't mess it up. Okay? But for most people, this brings people a lot of stress and a lot of frustration of why am I not making a lot of money? Okay, so this is the model. Check it out. It's not that bad. And again, I told you this was propaganda. Okay, so I'm going to push it. The ideal model, 150 clients, $400 a month, 2,000 square feet, one facility leader with 150 members. If you don't have 150, you don't need all those staff right away. 1 to 2 trainers, 40% margins, and $288K in profit. That's the model. So this guy, John Doherty, came to me, Dr. John Doherty. He's actually going to be speaking on the tour next year. So make sure you go see his talk. We did a mastermind only speaker school. And you ever see the Ultimate Fighter thing where they give the prize and the guy gets a contract? So we did like an Ultimate Fighter version where the winner of speaker school with Plumber got a spot on Perform Better. And John was the winner, right? And so John came to me. He was doing $7,000 a month when he came to me. He grew that business and scaled it to over $100,000 a month, and then had this idea to open up a bunch of small group gyms. And so he saw this model and he presented it to an investor. And the investor was just like, dude, we ain't trickling this out. We ain't open up one of these. We're opening up 3 of these at a time. And so his investor pulled up all the money and they saw this model. They saw how this works. And they're like, I want to do multiple at one time. And John did that. He opened up 5 gyms in 12 months and was a candidate for, that's a picture of Gym Business Raw, our wrestling themed event. See that? That one on the right, but he actually didn't win, fortunately for John. Someone else won. So here's the big question. The big question is, how do we create the marketing plan? I'm not here to tell you about small group. You probably are doing it. Hopefully you are doing it. But what I'm here to tell you about is how to get new customers and how to make more money. That's really what I'm about. And what I'm about to teach you is not so specific to small group. It somewhat is. But anything that I teach you today can be applied to any business model you have. I had a guy that was the wife of one of our members who owns a dog grooming shop. And he came to one of our events. He was like, that was one of the best events I've ever been to in my entire life. I was like, dude, you're a dog groomer. A lot of the stuff about business doesn't change industry to industry. So don't think if you're not doing small group, you just tune out. This is all relative to whatever model that you guys have. Are you guys with me? Is anyone bored? All right, good. Okay. All right, so here are the 5 things I'm going to go over. The first is I'm going to talk about your perfect clients. Who are the people that you want in your gym? That's the most important piece, the most important question you could answer. I will talk about exactly what to say to your perfect clients. What are the things that you should say to them, which is also known as your marketing message. And number 3 is how to make sure your marketing never stops. 4 is I'm going to teach you how to install a system to convert them into members. And the last thing, I'll teach you how to create loads of referrals. Okay, so when I first started my gym, I did everything. I did small group training, I did large group training, I did one-on-one, I did post-rehab ACL. We trained middle school athletes, we trained high school athletes, we trained middle school athletes one-on-one, and we trained middle school athletes in large groups. We had this massive identity crisis. And it was impossible to market my business because we slapped on the website, like, here's Gabriel Fitness. We do everything. And it was like, people were just waiting for us to start selling pizza. That's what it was like. And the reality of it is marketing became almost impossible because we had all these different people that we needed to market to. And then this one event happened. And I call it the Kathy B event. We had this marketing play that we did called the sweepstakes. And what the sweepstakes is, very briefly, is we give away 6 free memberships for 6 weeks. Okay. Basically totally free, kitchen sink, everything that we got, they got. Okay. And it exploded. And to the point where they had 400 people filling out these applications. And Kathy was one of the people that we picked. Okay. When we picked the winner, they had to promise to be followed like a documentary. And so we were following Kathy throughout her whole journey. So the point was to give the thing away, but then to get a lot of publicity through the following of the people. And I picked Kathy, but I didn't realize Kathy was going to be as completely nuts as she totally is. So we're doing video and I'm filming a video with her. And I was like, all right, this is Kathy. We're going to teach the squat today. And she looks at me and she goes, what are we doing here? That's how she talks, straight out of The Sopranos. What are we doing here? And I was like, we're going to do a video. This is boring shit. No one wants to do this. And I'm like, all right. And she's, you get down there on the floor. I'll teach you how to do it. I'm like, what? She's, you get down on the floor. And she's like, all right. She takes over the camera. And she's like, this is Vince Gabriel. He's going to get down there and squeeze his tush. And like, she starts coaching me. She's the trainer. And she does these videos. And so we put the first video out. Anyone ever seen 500 comments on a local Facebook page? Viral. If you could define viral, that's what it was. Every Monday, Kathy and I filmed a video together, and that lasted for over a year. During Kathy's journey, she lost 83 pounds, still has kept it off today. She was on the Dr. Oz show twice because of her journey. She and I wrote a book together. She was on the cover of Women's World magazine. And she was asked to be on the Rachel Ray show. And she goes, I hate that bitch. I ain't going on that show. That's what she said. But something happened right after. People are calling. And they're like, whatever you did for Kathy B, that's what I want. Give me the Kathy B plan. I don't care what it costs. Give me the Kathy B plan. And guess who those people were? Just like her. People in their 40s, people in their 50s, people in their 60s. And all of a sudden we're like, this is our sweet spot. This is who we for. Now, it doesn't mean we abandoned everything else we did, but our marketing, we're talking about marketing, our marketing became, this is who we talk to. These are the people that we talk to because it's very hard to market. Write this down. It's very hard to market to 2 different markets at one time. Very hard, if not impossible. And so we switched. We went all in. I was like, this was like a lot of people talk 40 plus. You hear 40 plus a lot. Like we started that. This was us. And we were like, it was because of Kathy. I was like, we're going to go after that 40 plus. And everything changed. Here's my second epiphany. Check out the numbers. From 2008 to 2015, we had 162 adult members. Kathy was 2016. Check it out. 304 in 1 year. At an average value of $334 per month for our gym. Exploded. This is the most important business decision that you can make. It's not what equipment you buy. It's not how much square footage you have. Part of it is the trainers, that's very important, but this is who you decide to help is the most important business decision you got. There's 3 things you really need to know about them. You need to know where they are, and you need to know who they are in terms of their demographics, in terms of their age, gender, and things like that. And then the last thing you need to know is you need to know why they buy. A lot of people stick to, hey, I'm going to work with people 40 plus and I'm going to help them lose weight. Good luck with that today. You need to take this to another level if you want to really seriously make some money in this business. And you understanding the buyer is everything. And that is the psychographics. Here are the 10 most important questions to ask your target market. Good. Did you guys get that? Okay, good. All right, the big takeaway. What? You didn't get it? Oh, do you want it? It's going to cost you. You really want it? Hold on. Before I give it to you. If you spend less than 3 hours answering those questions, you missed the point. Take this seriously. This is your entire business. Your entire business is built around the person, who that person is, and what you're going to say to them to get them to raise their hand and be like, this is for me. Okay, so if I show you these questions, raise your hand if you're going to promise me that you're going to spend at least 2 to 3 hours answering these questions. I don't see enough hands. There you go. So you take a picture of it. Take a picture of it, and what I would do is write the questions down. Write the questions down, handwrite them, and then block a time, 2 to 3 hours, maybe an hour at a time instead of 3 hours straight, but an hour at a time. Do 3 questions an hour. All right, go deep on these answers. Go deep on these answers. Okay, so the big takeaway. Build a business that solves a problem for people with lots of money. Why do people that are 40, 50, and 60 have lots of money? Honestly, just from their demographic, people that are 40, 50, and 60 have had time. They've had time to climb the corporate ladder. There's a massive generation. You guys don't understand. There's a massive shift of wealth that's happening to this market. They're not even making the money themselves. They're just getting it, right? But this is the group that's got the money. So you could almost be like, anyone here train 22-year-old college kids? Thank God. Oh, you do? All right. Who trains 22-year-old college kids? Oh, too many of you. Shit. They don't have any money. Their parents. All right. This is Devin Gage. Devin Gage has opened up. He's been a client of mine for almost a decade. Devin I show you these before after pictures to tell you that I help gym owners, but I help them for the long haul. I'm not like a quick fix guy where I'm like, oh, I helped this guy get 334 leads in 30 seconds. That's not me. Like, I coach people and go all in and help people. He's been a client of mine for over a decade. That's him as a young child on the picture on the right. And here he is. He's got a multi-million dollar business, I think 10 locations in the Westchester area, Pennsylvania area. He's done a phenomenal job of taking the piece that he did the best, which was his small group model, and then scaling it into small locations similar to what I've done and similar to what I was talking about with John Doherty. Okay? Okay, so that's number one, is who is the person? All right, the second thing is, what are you going to say? Because, man, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of noise out there. But what are you going to say? So this is my wonderful wife, Vanessa. She's the best. Okay? Very lucky. And one time I got Vanessa really drunk. It was vodka and lemonade, right? And so she usually drinks vodka and lemon. And she was drinking it, and I had this idea to put sugar in it. And she starts drinking, and she's, this is really good. She like slugged it. We have 3 kids, okay? So I'm not like, we're just hanging out. And she was like, make me another one, honey. And I made her another one, and she chugged it. It was a hot day. She drank 3 of them, passed out, 7 o'clock. Done. Face down. I had to put the kids to bed. Like, it was just like, she was out. And Vanessa works out every morning at 6 a.m. Like, never misses. She actually anyone here 75 hard? My wife just completed 75 hard as a 44-year-old mom with 3 kids. Like, that's legit. Yeah, round of applause for Vanessa. Make sure you clap. That's my wife. You're not clapping for my wife? Okay. And so we're on date night. We do date night every Wednesday, and we're sitting at date night, and she's a mess. She's, you poisoned me last night. You poisoned me last night. And I had the worst day. The worst day. And she starts telling me this laundry list of stuff about how bad her day was and how bad she felt and how bad of a mom she was. It was just like this. And I was like, is it like that all the time? And she's, no. She said, most days are great. She's, on the days I work out, I take out my phone and I start taking notes. I was like, keep talking, honey. What does it feel like when someone works out? And what does it feel like when someone doesn't work out? Okay? That's your message. That's part of your message, is the things that people are saying. Here's the job of your marketing. Here's the job of your marketing. Please memorize this. Never forget it. The job of your marketing is to enter the conversation already going on in the prospect's mind. I did not invent this quote. Someone way smarter than me did, but I pass it to you. If you didn't write that down, I feel really bad. I feel really bad. But this is it right here. That is the job. When someone sees your ad, when someone sees your email, when someone sees whatever you do, whatever marketing that you put out there, that is your job. Is for them to be like, he's talking to me. They're talking to me. They understand me. They get me. And you need to start thinking with this in mind. All right? And you need to start marketing with the things that people tell you in person. This guy come in, I'm just fed up, man. I'm just fed up. I'm just fed up of being fat. I'm fed up of being tired. I'm fed up. I'm just fed up. He said this in the console. And I was just like, wait a minute. He's fed up. He's fed up. He's done. A lot of other people are done too. A lot of other people are thinking like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. So that was my ad. My ad was exactly what he said. All right. I was sitting at the doctor with my mom, and my mom asked the doctor this question: how many days should someone work out? And the doctor's like, he gave this like scientific, he's an old guy. I think that there's some research done that human beings should exercise on the days that they eat. And he kind of said, and he like did this like weird laugh because it was like a joke, right? But that was one of my ads, because that's a question. My mom had that question. People are asking that stuff. This one woman came in and all she wanted to do was this. She just wanted to look better naked. She just kept saying to me, I want to look better naked. I want to look better naked. I want to look better naked. And so finally, and so this was my ad. 8 years ago, I had a client tell us that she wants to look better naked. 8 years later, she's still a client. Okay? So understand is like what I'm doing with marketing and what I'm doing is all I'm doing is taking what people tell me. It's what all you need to do is just listen. Just listen. You have it. You're swimming in a sea of market research. You don't need ChatGPT. You can just go to your clients and listen to what they say. Every one of you has this. You should use ChatGPT too, though. All right, here's the last one. I'm sitting at the fence. I'm watching my daughter, who's slow as mud, running across the field, right? And this mom comes up to me and is it really possible for a kid to learn how to run faster? And I was like, have you seen my daughter run? I was like, yes, it's possible to run faster. Check this out. Look at the headline of the newspaper. This was in a rag, a newspaper. By the way, if you ever want to test your marketing chops, take an ad out in the paper. That'll tell you real quick if you're any good. All right? When I started making money from newspaper ads, and my entire GRIT program of sports performance programs was launched 100% in 2021 with newspaper ads. That was when I actually said, I think I know what I'm doing here. All right, all stuff like this. But print is dead, right? It's dead. Yeah, it's not dead. Take a look at this picture really carefully. Go ahead, take a look. Everyone got it registered? Where are your eyes going right now? Who are you looking for? Where are your eyes going? You looking for her? Where are your eyes? Where are your eyes going right now? You're looking at that picture. Where are your eyes going? That was you guys right when Pete was speaking. I snapped that picture. Your eyes, every one of you, your eyes went to yourself. You went to look for yourself. Every one of you in this room. And I'll fight anyone that said otherwise, unless you have experience in fighting or something like that. Right? They don't give a shit about you. They care about them. People are walking around being like, what's in it for me? How is this going to help me? When all of a sudden you're posting your video of you doing a Turkish get-up with a 64-pound whatever, blah, 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 no one gives a shit. So this is what you just got to understand with marketing. You have to think about the person that would be picked, and then what we got to say to that person to be able to get them to be like, yep, let's go. Let's do it. So here's the big takeaway. You can get everything you need to say in your marketing for being super curious. The curious is a huge, really important word in business. The more curious you are, the better you're going to be in business. Okay? The more curious about your market and just talking about helping them get what they want. This is one of my clients, Anthony Bevilacqua. He has done a wonderful job in his marketing message. He's got a gym in Long Island. I just spent an entire day. He hired me to go out to Long Island, which I told him I was charging 10 times what I normally charge because I got to drive through Long Island, the worst place in the world, right? But AB's done a phenomenal job. But if you look at AE, I would follow him, Anthony Bevilacqua. He's on social media. He has a really good connection with the market and speaks really well, but has done a phenomenal job. One of the things I did with Anthony is with his small group model. I'll give you a quick sidebar. What time am I done? 6:15? Okay. Anyone ever see the movie The Founder, the McDonald's movie? There's a part in the scene in that movie. So Anthony did all one-on-one. And he wanted to do small group, and he had 900 square feet. And there's a scene in that movie where they're on the tennis courts. It's really cool. Go watch it if you haven't seen it, but they're on the tennis courts. And this is the McDonald's brothers that are trying to find what's the most efficient way to set up a kitchen to be able to serve as many people as possible. And so they're on this tennis court and they're taking chalk and they're drawing lines on the floor where the milkshake maker's here, and then the fryers are over here, and then the burger place is over here, and they're doing this like dance. It's like amazing. And they find that in the movie, they decide what's the most efficient kitchen for McDonald's, and it's still used today. So I had him go watch that scene because he had a preacher curl in the corner. He had the elliptical over here. He just had shit everywhere, right? I was like, if you want to fit 6 people, right, in this gym, in this small sliver of a box that you've got, you need to start moving stuff around. Perform Better did a cab drawing for him. And so what we did was we set his gym up to be uniform to train for small group. And what happened was he was doing 2 sessions of one-on-one and charging $60 a session. Then all of a sudden he started doing 6 people at once and was charging almost the same amount of money, and ended up going from making $120 a session to $300 and stuff. Like, business totally transformed. He now has opened up 3 locations as well. But if you're doing small group, your facility setup really matters. That's why I always send people to Perform Better, because they know how to set up and where pieces should go. But it really is, you can have a lot of wasted space. Even the kid that I was driving up, he was training 4 people. And he started talking to me about second location. And I was like, you're not allowed to open a second location. You can train 6 people in this room. And I was like, you got to move this over there and this over there. So sometimes the best thing to do is maximize what you're currently doing. And sometimes that's just a space thing. Okay, sidebar over. Okay, where are we at? Okay, number 3. So 1 is, who's the person, right? We got to pick the right people, preferably people that got some money. Okay. 2 is, we need to know, what do we say to those people? What are the things that we say to those people that are going to make them be like, this is for me. This guy knows me. He knows what I'm talking about. The 3rd thing is, anyone ever have marketing where all of a sudden one month it's great, and then the next month it sucks, and then 1 month it's great, and then there's like seemingly no predictability of when new clients come in. Okay. In 2016, this thing called an algorithm changed on Facebook, and people went into panic mode because you could put a piece of dog poop on Facebook and you would get $2 leads in 2016. And they changed the algorithm, and all of a sudden everything changed, and all these gym owners are panicking, and they're panicking because they put all their eggs in one basket. They put everything they had into this Facebook thing because it was good, it was easy, and they ignored everything else. And that is one of the biggest mistakes that you could make in business. Because remember, the worst number in business is 1. If you got 1 trainer in your gym, you're 1 trainer away from you being the only trainer there. If you only have 1 way to get new clients, you're 1 algorithm change away from all of a sudden going to 0. So one of the worst numbers in business is 1. Take a look at that picture. Think about your marketing, and I want you to think about that pole in the water. And remember this. I always tell my son this when we go fishing. A pole in the water catches no fish. Sorry, I said that totally wrong. A pole not in the water catches no fish. Because he doesn't catch a fish. Sorry about that. I told him it's my first screw up today, Ryan. What do you think? But he gets sad he didn't catch a fish, and he's over on the side. I was like, son, you ain't gonna catch a fish unless your pole's in the water. That's the only way to catch a fish. And if you want to catch more fish, son, you bring 5 poles. And that's the same thing with marketing. If you don't have any poles in the water, then yes, I guess it's possible that fish can jump into boats. It is possible that fish can jump into boats. But I'd rather have my pole in the water. And I'd rather have 5 poles in the water to be able to catch as many fish as I can. So I created this concept called the marketing glove. The marketing glove is just a symbolic thing that I teach. And then each finger on the glove is a new way to get new customers. Okay? I'll tell you what my starting 5 is for marketing, for ways to get new customers. Okay? Here it is. I'm just going to give it to you. Okay, number one is you need a really good website that's optimized to convert. You don't need a website. You need a website that's optimized to convert. Most businesses have websites that do not get them new customers. You want your website to be a client-getting tool. If your website is not a client-getting tool, it might as well not even exist. It's not working. It's broken. So you need a website that's optimized and convert, and you need there are specific things you need to do to get that website optimized. I don't have the time to talk about that today. Okay. Number two, email marketing. Okay. People still read email. How many of you checked your email today? Raise your hand if you checked email today. Everyone in this freaking room. And I bet you every one of your prospects and every one of your customers also checked their email today and many times today. People still read email. One of the reasons that people don't like email is because they're bad at email. My advice, get good. Number three, paid ads. Not for everybody. I own a marketing agency, so I'm not like you say, some people should not do paid ads. Okay? If you're just starting out, like that guy Christoph that I said in the very beginning that went from 8K to 45K, he didn't do any ads in the very beginning. He was just out there hitting the street, building joint ventures, getting out in the community, all that stuff. So sometimes paid ads is a great thing to do to scale. If you're going to scale and open up multiple businesses, you need paid ads. You ain't going to do that without paid ads. So you need paid ads. But if you just got one gym and you just opened and you got 1,000 square feet and you're trying to get to 50 customers, no. There's plenty of other things you could do for free to be able to grow your business. Okay. Number four is joint ventures. Okay. These are the 5 things that I think people should be doing, the 5 most important things. Joint ventures. This is building relationships with other people in the community. I think this is a really overlooked component in marketing. And the last one is social media content with, get this, sell by chat. I think it's a big waste of time for you to be posting on social and not following up the people that are engaging with you. So the strategy is you post, hopefully something good, post reels, pictures, whatever, and then people engage with you. They like, they comment, they share, whatever. That is an invitation to engage with them. Hey, thanks so much for liking my post. Hey, thanks so much for your comment. Hey, thanks so much for whatever they did, right? That's the first thing you say. The second thing you say is, are you here for the content or are you looking for your help with your fitness? Are you here? Did you write this down? All right, are you here? I'm giving you some gold right now. Are you here for the content or are you looking for your help with your fitness? And guess what happens if they say, I'm looking for my help with my fitness? You start a conversation. You start talking to them. It's one of the best things that you could possibly do to get new customers. But we're just spending 45 to 60 minutes on the filter, on what we look like and all of that stuff. Is no, the money is made. I didn't look at anyone specific when I said that. All right. The money is made in the follow-up, as you'll see in my next section. Okay. So that's the Marketing Glove Starter 5. Okay. More, better, new. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to brainstorm in your mind the last 10 customers that you got. Ready? Go. Got it? Where did they come from? The last 10 customers. Think about the person and think about where they came from. Think about this new woman, Mrs. Jones. She came in through website. She came in through referral. She came in. And what I want you to do is I want you to go home and I want you to write down your last 10 customers that you got. And to the right of it, write down where they came from. And what you're going to start to see is you're going to start to see what actually is working. Because maybe sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Maybe what you need to do is just figure out what's working and do more of it. Right? It's just like all of a sudden I'm getting lots of referrals. Okay, well, maybe we can do more things to stimulate referrals. It seems like people like us. So we'll do more things. Or maybe email is working for you and maybe you're getting a new customer every time you send an email. What the hell is the matter with you? Why wouldn't you send 2? So it's this concept of what is working, do more. The second piece is what is working, do it better. So I'm sending emails. I'll use the email one. Can I write better emails? Can I get someone to teach me to write better emails? Can I hire, I'm running Facebook ads. I'm doing it myself. Can I hire an agency to do that for me? That would probably be better. But it's like looking at what you're currently doing, because everyone, are you getting, has anyone not gotten a customer this year? We've all gotten new customers. It's happening. It's reality. And now you just got to take reality and be like, all right, how do I actually leverage this and get more and better? And then the final thing is new. Do things that are new, right? Then go do ads on YouTube or whatever you want to do and dabble in that. But not before we've maximized what we're currently doing. Okay, so here's the big takeaway. It's guaranteed that you're going to lose clients. Guaranteed. There's not a person in this room that hasn't lost a client. Right? I'm so sure of that I am that you all looked at yourselves when that picture came up. I'm also sure about that one too. But it's not guaranteed that you're going to get new ones. There's a guarantee you're going to lose, but there's not a guarantee that you're going to get new ones. So you need multiple ways to get new customers. This marketing glove concept is your insurance policy. It's your insurance policy for not having this slow, sloggy month. And I'm not saying you're not going to have a slow, sloggy month. I've had plenty of slow, sloggy months. But the reality is we know what we can do to stimulate it. Okay? This is one of my customers, Mark. He owns Power Strength Gym in Michigan. He came to me as a very young man. That's him in the corner of my office. He sat and watched me work like 10 years ago and sat in the corner of my office and watched me work when he basically had one gym and in 900 square feet. And today, I believe he's got a business that's doing close to $5 million, and he's got 6 gyms all over Michigan, killing it. But he has done a phenomenal job of the marketing glove. He has athletes, he has adults, and you go and he has taken over the state of Michigan. You just see Power Strength everywhere. And it's because he's taken this concept of the marketing glove and went full into it. Okay, number 4. Raise your hand if you have something in your Amazon cart that you haven't bought yet. No one can see any hands, because here's what all the hands are like. No one can see any hands, right? Why do you do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why do you do that at the shopping cart? Do you just walk around with stuff in your shopping cart and not buy it? Why do you do that in Amazon? You just put shit in there and just watch it? Do you just look at it? No, you're indecisive. Like me. Like all your customers. Like all your prospects. Like human beings. Some of us more than others. But at the end of the day, it's human nature to be somewhat indecisive. I was sitting on my front porch and my neighbor has solar panels. And he's a smart guy. Money guy. And I'm like, he must know something. So I Google solar panels and I fill out a form to get information about solar panels. The guy calls me 4 days later and he leaves me a message. And I'm like, who's this guy? And solar panels? I was like, If he called me that day, I probably would have bought solar panels. But I was over it. I was done. I was on to the next thing. It was in my mind. I was interested today, completely disinterested tomorrow. That customer that wakes up in the morning that can't button their pants is frustrated, that goes to your website and fills out the form, and you don't call them back the same day. When you call them back 4 days later, they're not having a fat day anymore. They're having a good day. They're having a skinny day. And they ignore you. So what you got to understand is you have to prepare for this. You have to prepare for this thing. There's a study done on the data handling inquiry service that took a massive amount of leads generated, massive amount of leads. And they basically came to the conclusion that when someone opts in to buy something, 50% of the people will buy the product and 50% will not. Okay? Is everyone following me on this? Okay, that's what their conclusion was. When someone, and not the same company, but if someone like solar panels, they bought solar panels. It's not that they bought solar panels from one company, but they bought solar panels in general. 50% did, 50% did not. Listen to this. 15% of the people that bought purchased in the first 100 days. Leaving, don't leave it, leaving 85% to buy over the next 100 weeks. Do you understand that? 15% bought right away. 85% bought in the next 100 weeks. So you need two systems. You need the system that follows up with people right away. The 21-day process, the text message that goes out immediately, all of that, the double dot calls, like all of that, boom. But what a lot of you don't have is the system for the next 100 weeks, which is 85% of your leads. Am I making the case for having an email marketing newsletter that goes out all the time? I happen to write a book called The Big Book of Marketing, which is 577 pages of emails that I've written to my list. I have a copy right here. This is all you need for the next 100 weeks. Would anyone like to have this? 500, thank you. Well done. Well done. Hey, 99% of you are going to forget everything I said. There's a small number of people that are going to go home and do something with this stuff. And that's what it's going to take. You got to do this shit. You can't just, this has got to be step one, stage one. Don't get excited. Do not let this seminar excite you. Do not get motivated. Motivation fades. Action, action, action. Whatever you learn here this weekend that's worth it, you go take action. That action changes your life, not motivation. Motivation burns you the hell out. I don't want to motivate you. I want to inspire you to take action. If I were to buy an existing gym, these are the 3 ways I make my money back. I would go into the list of unconverted leads and I would be like, let's go. Big pile of unconverted leads, big pile of people that were interested, but they haven't bought yet. That's the first place I go. Second place I go is unconverted trial members. People that did a consult with you and didn't sign up. People that did a 6-week challenge that didn't sign up. People that, all kinds of people. And then the third one is past members. Some of you that have mature businesses like me, like we get a ton of our new clients from past members. If you just started out, this one's not going to be as big for you. But if you've been in business for a long, if you've been in business over 3 years, really? Raise your hand if you've been in business over 3 years. Okay. So it's people not participating. Yeah, you have a whole list of people. We'll do the math, right? Let's just say you have 300 members and you have a 5% attrition rate on 300. What is that? Like, I screwed myself by picking bad numbers. Let's say you have 100 members. Let's say you have 100 members and you have, it's not going to be as good. Let's say you have 100 members and you have a 5% attrition rate. You're losing 5 clients a month. How many is that a year? 12 times 5. 60. 60 times 3 is 180. That's 180 people. They didn't walk out sticking both middle fingers up at you guys, did they? Why'd they leave? They left because life got in the way. They're not mad at you. They're embarrassed. I've tried jujitsu 3 times. I suck and I failed every time. Every time someone comes up to me and says, oh, I think I can help you. I say, you can't help me. I'm just terrible. I'm all like a fish flopping around. I'm terrible. I hurt myself. It's like, it sucks. I am embarrassed to go back because I don't want to quit again. So I don't. But you know what? If the guy called me and was like, hey, Vince, I know you've already quit 3 times, loser. I know you already quit 3 times, but here's what I want to do this time. This time, what I want to do is start you off with this month of privates, and I'm going to really work with you one-on-one. We'll get you up to speed. We'll get some of the foundation sail cut. And then what we're going to do is, instead of having you do the white belt class, I'm going to have you do the higher belt class, because the higher belts are going to be able to help you better than the white belts. Those white belts are just trying to kick your ass because you were 45 and they were 22, and they didn't want you to get beat, the big by an old man. So we're going to do this all differently. If he made that phone call, I'd be back in 2 seconds. Some of you need to make that phone call. I saved someone's life with that phone call. Called this guy, raging alcoholic, called him up, and just, I can't believe he was like, I just can't believe you called me. I can't believe the timing on it. Dude was in the worst, darkest place of his entire life. And I just randomly checked in. I just texted him. I was, hey man, how you doing? And he just signed up right then and there, full year. Turned this whole thing around. So don't do it. If you're not going to do it for the money, do it for all those people out there that you can help change their life, right? This question will make you a shit ton of money. Don't come yelling at me and screaming when you got all these people that are responding to your email and you got all this work to do. That's not work. That's ringing the register. That's what that is. Okay, I don't have the time to get into it today. Now, a lot of people, they have trouble with follow-up because they feel like they're bothering people. They feel, I don't want to be a pest. I don't want to be this. Here's what my friend Howard Stern has to say about that.
Okay, Evan, go ahead. You're on in Burlington, Vermont, all the way up there in Burlington, my friend.
Can you guys hear that?
Hey now, Evan.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I didn't plug in the speaker. Sorry about that. Very choppy today, huh? I got to work on my delivery. Apologize.
Okay, Evan, go ahead. You're on in Burlington, Vermont, all the way up there in Burlington, my friend.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey now, Evan.
You know, listen, when I initially got on the phone, I was more fired up than I am now. But I want to give a constructive criticism to the show.
Not necessary.
What's that?
Not necessary.
No, it is. You need feedback from me.
No, I don't need any feedback. I come in here and I do what I want. Why would you need your feedback for?
Next time you figure out what
No, I figure out what to do and what you need. I'm in charge of me, and I'm in charge of the chef. I don't need feedback. Why would you need feedback? No, if I thought about the chosen community, I mean you. Your feedback is irrelevant. Your feedback is irrelevant.
How dare you?
Why? I'm telling you my process.
I know, but I figured that I could.
Your feedback is irrelevant. And whatever your feedback is irrelevant.
I'm saying that.
I don't get it. Quit. I don't care. I can't do it. I'm telling you your feedback is irrelevant for my entire career. I didn't get anything happening with my show. I don't care what you think. I care what I think. The way I was intimidated was to ignore the feedback. The common man is such a thing as a common man. Well, when the common man called us, you don't listen to feedback out this time. I'll call them.
I don't regret it.
It's gorgeous. Does anyone know listen to probably people want to have a weekend? Ryan Seacrest probably listens to feedback. He's worried about what people think. But I don't worry about that.
Why not?
Because you're irrelevant.
Of course you don't.
No, I don't. I don't care. If I have to listen to a show that everyone loves, it's not my show. Most people don't like my stuff. It's irrelevant. You want to waste your time?
Okay, so one thing like that I've learned from you is like the value of like psychology,
That was the funniest part when he cuts him off. But no, I'm not saying you should not ignore all feedback if a customer comes to you saying, so don't take that so literally. But at the end of the day, you got to build up a little bit of armor. One of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, teaches me about immunity to criticism. It's really hard to get anywhere in life if you're just scared of what everyone thinks about you all the time. And so if we're going to be following up with people and making phone calls and doing this, it's like they called you. But a lot of us are afraid. We're afraid of contrary. Why do people talk about raising prices, right? Why don't we raise our prices? Here's why you don't raise your prices. Because you're afraid of the conflict that's going to come from raising your prices. That is why you're afraid. And at the end of the day, if we're going to get somewhere, we got to stop giving a shit a little bit. And you got to develop the swagger a little bit and be able to do it. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, you have to know in your heart of hearts that you do good work and you're helping people. And that one person that responds to your email that calls you a bad person because you're sending them an email and you're going to let that ruin your day and you're going to let that stop you from emailing. And I see it a lot. Okay. Don't let it happen. It's one of my clients, Giancarlo, has a series of gyms in Philadelphia. Came to me also, I think $8,000 a month is like a magic number of people come to me, right? He's coming to me doing $8,000 a month. He has now 7 gyms in the Philadelphia area. He's doing like almost $200,000 a month in revenue combined across the 3. Has done a phenomenal job with follow-up. They are laser focused on the follow-up process. A very good gym owner, okay? And the last one is this, get loads of referrals. I'm a little over. Don't start leaving. If you start leaving, it's going to be like weird and I'll be done soon. But if everyone starts leaving, then I get clammy and like my palms start sweating and all that. All right. So last thing is just like how to get more referrals. I'm going to do this really quickly. Okay. If your client gets this text message, their answer controls the destiny of your business. Hey, my gym's doing this event where I can bring a friend to work out. They've got me in the best shape of my life. Do you want to come with me? Imagine your client gets that text from a friend. The answer determines the destiny of your business. This is what you want them to say. Thanks for the invite, but I'm super happy at Gabriel Fitness. Enter your gym name. Been awesome. I've been there for a few years. Feel awesome. It's like a second family for me. Keep up the great work, though. If you ever want to come with me to a workout at GFP, let me know. Totally turned it around and tried to bring a friend in. That is the answer you want your customers to give. You need to do work so good that a customer is almost offended to their friend that they another gym? What? Why would I ever even think about going to another gym? That is the level of service that you need to provide for your customers. And that level of service will drive a very steady flow of referrals. So you have to understand referrals is all about first, doing great work. The reason why this business Perform Better gets so many referrals is they just do damn good work. All right. Referral insight 1. People refer to elevate and enhance their status. It's also the biggest why people don't refer. People don't refer because of risk, a risk to their status. If people are not sending you referrals, what they're telling you is that me sending someone to you and them having a bad experience is a risk to me. That is what they're saying. And I had this happen the other day where a friend asked me for a chiropractor. And he's like, I need a chiropractor. My back's screwed. I was like, go see Slade's my chiropractor. And this is a chiropractor, right? Not for one hesitation did I think twice about sending them to Slade. Go see Slade. He'll take care of you. Go see Slade. He'll take care of you. Zero hesitation. And that's what you want from referrals. Trust needs to be built for that to happen. That's the text message that followed after I sent him to that. But one of the reasons why people are not referring, because the product is telling them there's a possible risk. And what you want to do is take that risk away. Okay, referral insight 2. All referrals happen from a conversation. So my wife started cooking with HelloFresh. It's terrible. Garbage food. But we're at our kitchen and we had a couple over for dinner and Vanessa's talking about HelloFresh. She's, oh, I'm making this HelloFresh and they come with the little spice packs and all that and the food's really good. And she said, do you think it's good, Vince? I'm like, yeah, it's good. I didn't like it. But it was like low quality. The food wasn't hot. It was like low quality meat and stuff like that. I didn't like it. But anyway, they're talking. They're like, oh, the ladies, I heard about HelloFresh. I should try it. And Vanessa pulls out her phone and says, guess what I got? They sent me a text message when I signed up. And the text message is for a free box of food. She said, really? And Vanessa's like, yeah. And she sent it to me. She sent her the text. Right then, this is all happening in front of my eyes. I'm watching this. I'm like stepping back. I'm like, oh my God, referrals. Oh my God, this is incredible. I can't believe what I'm seeing right now. And what they did is they made it easy for people to refer. That is the secret to your clients giving you more referrals. Some of you make it too hard. Let me give you one really easy strategy that you can give to your customers to make it easy to refer. You ready? Hey, if you ever have anyone that you think of that wants to train at the gym, here's what I want you to do. This is my personal email, not my work email. My personal email. Take this email, and when you think of that person that you want to send to the gym, I want you to introduce them to me on the email, and then CC the person on the email with me. So now it's the three of us on the email. And what I'll do is I'll just respond to them and then take it from there, and you don't even have to do anything. How easy was that for the client? All the client had to do was send an email that was just like, hey, this is Vince. He owns Gabriel Fitness. I love it there. You guys take it from here. And I have transferred that same philosophy to all of my companies. And that's how a lot of the referrals that we get come in, through that very one simple thing of making it very easy to refer. Last one, a very simple plan to get more referrals is better than a big, robust strategy to get referrals. You want a referral system that you can put into your business that's easy. I don't have the time because I'm already to go over it. But if you want to take a picture, that is my one-page referral system. All on one page, probably for a gym. Everything that you need to do to be able to get referrals is right then and there. Everyone got it? So the big takeaway is build a system to get more referrals, because referred clients pay more, stay longer, and refer more. This is one of my clients, TJ Lopez. He is one of the best gym owners in the country. I was just at his gym the other day in Long Island. He was our SPF Gym Owner of the Year award. His business is driven on referrals. He's in the Long Island area and has done a phenomenal job of implementing these referral-based systems. Okay. So we're at the end of our time. We're at the end of our overtime. You guys stayed 7 extra minutes. I really appreciate you guys staying that extra time. And for that, I have a gift for you. So I wrote 2 books. I wrote 12 books, but 2 of them I'm going to give to you for free. So all you need to do now is take out your cell phone and scan that QR code. And that will get you a copy of my marketing book and a copy of my sales book, the digital copies. And yeah, it's not working? Leo, are you serious? Dude, you're in a shit of trouble. You gotta be kidding me right now. Really? Oh my God. This is not, I'm ready to throw a chair at this man. Okay, so we have a booth. And actually, I saw that you can get you can get 4 of my books for. So actually, it's better if you go to the booth. You can get 4 of my books, digital copies, for free at the booth. So it's actually better than this. But I apologize. But I have one more thing for you guys. One more thing. On Saturday, was any of this helpful? Thank you. On Saturday, if you own a business and you want me to personally help your business, I'm buying you lunch and giving you free money-making advice. So my offer is, and we have, I believe, 24 spots for this, because we're just going to go to lunch. I'm getting pizzas. We're going to sit at the table, and I'm going to teach you how to make more money. And it's on Saturday at 12:15. We're going to meet at my booth. Okay, we're going to meet at my booth, and then we'll walk over to there are tables in the corner there to that. We have 24 spots. I'm not buying pizza for 400 people, okay? We have 24 spots. If you want a spot, it's first come, first serve. Scan, maybe this QR code works. Maybe. So scan, if you want to come, I'm buying you lunch and I'm going to give you free money making advice. I can get a little deeper dive in some of your individual things, probably almost like a hot seat type of deal or whatever. But if you want to come, just scan that QR code. And yeah, if you want to connect with me, that's my email. Thank you guys.